WWW.
Casing open kill ban.
You said they only got into OC finally now they take the lead for the first time since the pistol. Well, now they've got a chance to finish this map to take their pick. Would have seemed impossible but the job is not done. And the disappearance from Senzu and absence from Muzino. We saw some difficult rounds for him on inside alone, pulling an A to the wrong time, getting caught by smoke breaks. Some frustrating rounds for Senzu, just not been there in terms of impact, not had any sharp shots. And Mongols need him now more than ever. RV sits on the edge of their seat. Trying to make this comeback a reality.
This is a dream that they've been chasing for years. You don't want to feel like you squandered a golden opportunity of a statement win in the quarterfinals, especially not for this team with far greater ambitions. Further to go as far as the Mongols are concerned, but is it out of their hands? Upon progression, 9-10, blinding him in the MVP, but he would be required. The rest of them are being weighed in comment. The 9-10 AWP is hitting very, very hard. They've got to tell, they've got something here, that A side is not the place to go. So as they wrap back round, as almost every round of this game has gone on, this B site is where the spotlight lays. It's been the test of your B defense, your B offense. That has been what has decided success in this game. Techno, even though he withstands the first. Oh, that's aggressive, and even knocks out wonderful. Makaze on his aggressive passing, no flash! Deletes them! Wow! Great awareness from the Mongols! Techno 4K living up to his name! The solo B player keeps the Mongols in Inferno!
No right to be here. Neither team really in overtime. This should have been done days ago, but Techno, a perfect read on that coffin flank. A wonderful way for his teammate to get in position. Techno forces that kill. He calls for the flash, and he shuts down every stage of that hit for Na'Vi. We have more rounds to play. We might have another overtime.
Run it back in another OT. Or Na'Vi take it right as the clock strikes midnight. Aggression into top banana. Kaze softened up. Early rotate from the Mongols. Third player joins the ranks of B. Kaze 21 and 21 after that first half is shocking.
They don't want that bomb side though, they leave him on his own. Potentially coming back late in the round, but he is getting bullied by Nate again. Back to old tricks. Na'Vi force Mongols back on the A side, the AWP here. Static as ever, 9-10 the turret. They've done what they wanted, they forced that rotate, but as Blitz throws his long utility, he immediately rotates. That Na'Vi are going to think it's a 3-man A-hole. Mongols have made the perfect call. The call that should send them all the way to a second overtime and to another chance here on Inferno.
Just playing straight through, but timing on that smoke hole, that's where the rest of the Mongols roar to life. Techno with another multi-kill, refusing to let B go peacefully. And here's the support, here's the rest of them flooding in to finish the job. The Mongols, stellar defense in that second half. And with a little help from Techno 4K, there's still a score to be settled on Inferno.
Back to how this game began with Na'Vi really having trouble just getting into either bomb site, getting shut down on both sides of the map. And the difference maker is Techno this time around, 25 and 17. Hold strong every time the Mongols come on to a 4K the first time, a 2K here and now. And the Mongols are hitting hard. It's more the calling of the two sides that let them down in this game. So we go again, first to 19.
Second overtime, this is where things are going to start to feel pretty wild. This is where you're exploring new strats, new ideas, sometimes for the first time. Aggression into the top. There's a real roaring pace behind
CT side across every single time. He's asked to be in the right place. He's made the right place. That's why it makes that T side even more frustrating. Two smokes that don't really give a lot of love to the Mongols. They don't get that information, so they pull back into the bomb site.
Na'Vi with an A hit. Not many, but it's big to open up the rest of Na'Vi, hoping to spill over in amidst all this chaos. We'll get away with kills from the long side, buying enough time for Techno to move in and join him. All way of this rotate moving in. Kazi and Wonderful, 2 versus 2, and it's more aggression. Out through short, that's a big spot to pick up. Denying some serious room, they'll go back and fight for this long control. Blitz is now being asked to clutch, and they double swing in a confident display. Must win at T-side rounds. Na'Vi, get on the board early, get ahead of it.
He's a playmaker, all right. You can see him calling that move, trying to get re-aggressive in that post bar, trying to take the fight on his terms, and forces the kills out on the long side. Makazi and Wonderful shut out a T-side round. You said that's what they needed. Got to get one past the keeper. And Na'Vi starts strong on the hard half.
Immediate timeout for the Mongols. They know, okay, once made it past, the rest of this CT side has to be flawless now. That adds a tremendous amount of pressure to this CT side. You would have loved to have Na'Vi scrapping for this 1T round later in overtime. They bring the double orbs out again. These are expensive investments for the Mongols. It's facilitated by the OT, but it's not a buy they can repeat.
Struggling.
How this game's going. If you miss on Makazi, he's going to start trying to close the distance. They do. They work their way up in a top banana and take this control away very, very quickly. For a triple start there, the orb trying to take a fight down through banana. It's not the opening the Mongols wanted.
Wonderful chasing down the bomb site. Techno is going to walk in
Three players in the site in front of him. Bit larger than the lines. Na'Vi
The end of regulation, but once we've hit bonus play, it has been the opener for Na'Vi. It has been the way in. Getting bullied on this B-bomb site, no matter what weapon he wields.
As this game's gone on, it's not been enough to quell that immediate threat of him just barreling through these tunnels looking for injuries. He's got Alexi there and he's convinced him on the same, playing through that top banana smoke. Now after you get the control, they spot two players having rotated over, they relay that to Bit and they tell him to get to work. You know there's more gaps. With one less player to watch A, Bit thinks he'll move, and he's right in that. A huge miss for 9-10. Bit's bullying him, has him right back in the library. And with such a foothold on A, with wonderful catching re-aggression on B. This might be teed up for a convincing Na'Vi finish. There's another catch from the wonderful Orb. And in a game where T-side have been the struggle, going flawless in overtime does not feel small for this Na'Vi squad. They rise to the occasion. That's 3 straight on this T-side. 3 chances to pick up Inferno.
It just feels inevitable at this point. Mongols, categorical choke after a dominant defense. The same round again and again and again. Madness, insanity, and now out of steam. Unbelievable recovery from McCarthy and wonderful AWP, a dominant force across the entire map. RB with no weak link in sight. 5 kills away from their next pick.
Uncomfortable. Hard thing to do with how this guy's playing. He takes it in his stride to actually get more aggressive after that util.
Even though it feels like Mongols want util, really hasn't mattered. The holds have been strong. Techno up to 600 UD. Does any of this make a difference? Blitz opening kill, wonderful. The Rock forced back into the bomb site, but it's him alongside Big, the 2 top performers in the server to stop this play. A surprise could do the heavy lifting here. Alexi waits for him to enter his bomb site, and he could say goodnight right now. Molly comes off the pod. Techno gets that first down. Mongols have a shot in the 3v3.
Down to the wire. But he won't go any further.
closed clean. Mongols 1 out of 3 to force another overtime. It's not the end of the world for Na'Vi, but it is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, right now, still rounds to be played. You won't think about that one, but you will. This gets dragged into an extra overtime.
Set him up again. Molly with that break on the smoke, but bowing out on Banana on the Mongols.
A lot of noise, right? A lot of sound cues at top Banana. That's something Na'Vi are accounting for.
So they want to jump the gun.
They've pulled 4 players around into this A site. They think that AWP firing off is going to cause the Mongols to pick up some pace. Hoping this gets them over this shot. Doing this now when you're this deep into the there's no wonder Na'Vi don't see it coming.
They thought they cleared it, Harry. They thought they got that info. Wonderful with the mid-check at the worst possible time. And Na'Vi announced their rotation, confirming Blitz's decision to walk up short. And after a game dominated by CT side, Mongols look to do what Na'Vi just did to them. They draw this half to force another overtime and go again.
Side is demanding perfection. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot do anything wrong. There are no second chances. This is the Mongols trying to match the performance of Na'Vi and lead them in another overtime. Come on, what do we think it's going to be? Is it Na'Vi?
We got a split house, and we might have a split game if Mongols can finish this final round of double overtime.
No one knows how this is going to play out. Triple B leads open up. Util exchange for Banana control. The Mongols place it slowly, but they haven't to worry about that.
The longer this game is going, the more both teams have defended Banana on the inside. The defense to play the sandbags. That's exactly what he does. That stealth, decisiveness, that goal. Mongols can be inside of the box set. He goes ahead of their smoke, forcing them down a single alley.
Now for Na'Vi, they're hoping that this duo, Bit and Ema, both played fantastically in the groups to get here. Hope they can put the squeeze on the Mongols. Alexei reluctantly concedes this long space, but never takes his eyes off the prize. There's the ball rolling. The advantage is for Na'Vi, and this time there's no option to go back for the Mongols. They have to battle through. They have to battle what lays in front of them. They get past Ema. Seconds to spare on this bomb plot. First to arrive is Mikaze. And this guy has been a revelation in one half, having a catch up on this route to progress that the Mongols have been on, improving on these stage games. Mikaze has had to do that in real time while he's knocked out first. But wonderful here.
Was the changing start of a new overtime. No match point looming over you.
Techno, 9-10. These three are doing everything they can to keep the Mongols here. It's two star pieces for this Mongol squad, Senzu and Mizinho, both still struggling.
That's such a great example of why when you reset the clock in overtime and go back to the start of a new one, it can just feel almost random at times. Teams getting very aggressive, willing to make plays they wouldn't when the pressure's on. They're forcing 3 kills in second mid. And despite that 5-on-4 for Mongols, it goes nowhere.
I think the other thing that's concerning here with Senzu being one of the guys we're talking about is he was someone who used to hit so hard for the Mongols in those group stages and kind of had the most ground to make up on when it came to translating that into the playoffs, into the arenas. It felt like he conquered that at the major. Posted some great numbers, did Senzu to get them into that final. But here, an old problem rearing its head, and it's not the time for it.
The only time is still time to save it. First map into a triple overtime, into a quarter-final.
No exception.
I mean, what a way to kick off this Cologne playoffs.
It's going to be a great weekend.
No exception.
Couldn't ask for a better match to open.
They had me in the first half, not going to lie. Can Mongols show us more on this deep side? That's available, but they've punished Mizinho for going for it last round, so Mizinho doesn't announce his
They boosted quietly, yeah. I don't imagine they want to attempt it. They're just taking this position. It's an advantage onto itself. regroup in the apartments, and there is this double porch setup. One of its biggest vulnerabilities is to a heavy apps play from the tees, and that's what the Mongols are looking to do here. This is a little awkward. You'll hear this from the boost, from this porch setup in mid, and so it's given Na'Vi a far better idea as to what's happening, or what could happen in this round. Here's the play, 40 seconds. Bit up top. He's got a lot to be responsible for here. He needs his teammates to hold down mid. He can just focus forward, looking at the apartment. It's actually wonderful to pick that up. Extinguishes the smoke. They play out in mid. They can't find it. Wonderful's elusive. And they trade places, but if he trades it, Wonderful will take in his stride. He can run down the partner right now. He can finish this right now. Through the smoke. Wonderful seals the deal.
35-21. Wonderful's impact has been miserable across this entire map. It's been massive. Even when his team was so cold, so slow to start, he was still giving us opening kills. He was still making rounds interesting. He was still not dying first in this game. 6-0 on those opening kills. 8 multi-kill rounds alongside Makaze.
Na'Vi trying to bring it right back and go flawless the other way. The Mongols just gonna pop. They play with some pace in this round, out into the top of mid, out in a bit. Convincing hole to open, and now you've got Wonderful, who might be feeling some pressure on the apartments, but deals with it diligently. Wonderful, molly wide. It takes the U-turn to punish that all. Makaze in through the back line, and it's flawless from Na'Vi. Not once, but now twice over.
On both halves, no less. They did it on T side, they've done it on CT side. Strat looks out the window at this point, but it does feel like surely Na'Vi can finish this one off. Those improvements towards the end of the T side starting to look a lot better. Mongols once again playing catch up at the match what Na'Vi are giving us. It feels like this is running away. Talk about multi-kills. There's only 4 across the party with the Mongols. Those heroic moments relying on everyone doing their job. It has not been as consistent for the Mongols.
That's the worry. Mongols, as strong as their weakest link. More in the kill feed to open. To his squad. Moutinho backstab. Quick turn. They have Moutinho pressured. Makaze runs and guns to bring Na'Vi into this inside.
3 on 5 to end the map.
Very, very low. As has been demanded of them for almost the last hour, there is no margin to error here. Every shot has to connect flawlessly if you want to win this. The molly just bounced off Makaze. It didn't explode straight away. And so it let him get out. He's still in this round now. He's still in the picture. Makaze on his way. Gets to a second chance in life. And boy, will he make it worthwhile. Makaze, a revelation for Na'Vi. Resilience on display in spades. A match they had no business winning, and it's the rookie in his debut game at Tier 1, and to land this big to get Na'Vi there.
Amsity. I will have your banana. Smoke lane faster. No, smoke city. I will save it for 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna smoke city. Don't die fast. Sure, guys, not fast, guys. I will come. Smoke city, I'm gonna smoke next round. You should smoke as well. I pressed it already. Penny you till there. You can also fight Alex.
Nice, I will go for over. I'm flashing deep. Wait, no, don't do that. Caps swing. I smoke caps. How does he? Sure, 3 hit on you. Caps jump down. I'm behind. Caps. 3 hit on you. Guys. Yeah. Short one. Short. Yeah, I'm behind there. I'm dead.
I think go
short. Yeah, I'm doing chaos smoke. Can you go short? Side, one more side. Nice!
A tug of war on Inferno, but one in which Na'Vi would eventually outlast. Despite a dire start from them in that first half, they show resilience. I'm talking about Fit stepping up, wonderful back in action, but most impressively, Makaze igniting in his first big stage game. There is no better way to start off a Cologne matchup. This triple overtime is like Jason.
No, this is the perfect kickoff to the entire playoffs. This was absolutely magnificent. More lovely comeback from Na'Vi as well after the first half. I think the real thing is we were laughing because it was like we have to kind of bring up the Kaze stats after the first half, and he had like 3 kills, and then he just shot up the scoreboard. And that was the thing. Na'Vi did enough to survive to where everyone else was actually going to show up into the game. Kid started having a great performance. Wonderful was there in place of Ema. Makaze stepping up. Everyone kind of eventually got into the game.
And something that Na'Vi was known for while they were the #1 team in the world and a contender for all these trophies was their resiliency. You know, how many times did they come back into games? How many times were they able to grind out games where maybe they weren't playing their best? And this was very reminiscent of that.
Particularly when we're looking at that first half, right? Because Mongols, they were just on fire on that CT side. We had round 5, which was kind of the start of the Mongols putting a hell of a lot of rounds in.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we always talk about how these reset rounds are important. There's a couple of them in the half, and I think if you look at this round after Na'Vi won pistol, Mongols in the first gun, you can see Blitz rotating towards B in the mid round. They have a good read in this situation. They have a bit of an app setup going. The A players still have some utility, and they're going to be in great position here, right? Initially to find the kill, to sort of fend off the hit from Na'Vi, right? Get a bit of a trade 4v3. And then what happens is there's just a small sort of misplay towards the A-bomb threat from Enzino. He has Bit running back Cat. He whips on him. All of a sudden, wow, now it's becoming like really close. And then after that, right, it's going to be a 2v2 situation on the B bomb side, and Mongols are going to be able to clutch. And that's a really hard retake to go for, 2v2 on B, right? And if they lose this round, now it's 4-1 up, half by 5-1 up maybe, right? And the game goes to hell. But they were able to sort of salvage it and still go on a run from that point on.
It was a round that it felt like Na'Vi never should have found a way to get into in the first place, and then Mongols just barely recover it right at the end. Like, it was very back and forth, which is, I mean, a great way to describe this entire match, because it felt like whenever one team got an upper hand, the other team figured it out very, very quickly. And Mongols is so lucky to get away with this round, to be honest with you.
100%. It felt like a map of millimeters when we're looking at this first round of Inferno. Then we move on to the second half. I know it feels like almost a lifetime ago, Yanko, but round 15, this is where we see Na'Vi fighting back and the start of their eventual comeback.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not even, we talk about, you know, it's very tricky. If you win pistol and lose the second round, that's hell. You know what's worse? When you win the pistol, you win the second round, and then actually against the eco following that, you go on and lose that one. And I think here we see a lack of discipline for the Mongols. Here we see them being a little bit too lackadaisical, right, in their approach.
They got it in the bag.
Yeah, they don't have armor, they just have pistols. Screw it, even if it's a stack, you know, just get it done. And instead, they get decimated by the one save 5-7 and armor from Alexei. He's set to heal. Don't worry about the guy running from smoke. Your job is push and kick towards the left. Your teammate behind you needs to kill that guy, right? You can see all...